All right, guys, today we got a 2009 Lexus ES350. Been in the body shop, had some body work done on it. They hit a stump. They can't get the AC to work right. They've already put a bunch of parts on it. We got to get it fixed. It is somewhere between 95 and 103 degrees out here. Let's get into it. Backstory on the car. Gave you a little bit of it. It was from a body shop. It's a body shop we deal with. The client or the car owner hit a stump. They had to replace the bumper, the radiator, the condenser as part of that repair. They said that the AC would blow great in the morning when it's cooler outside, but it gets in the heat of the day, it doesn't blow good at all. It doesn't blow cold at all. Then they said, okay, well, they put a expansion valve on it. That didn't fix it. So then they thought, well, maybe the condenser brand they got wasn't good. So they got a different brand condenser, put it in it, and it's still doing the same thing. We're in the heat of the day, so I've got the one probe sitting up here. It says it's 105 degrees right there. This is saying it's 96. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna put the other one in the vent. Let's go ahead and start this thing up. 2009, but really, really clean. It's only got not even 54,000 miles. A tick under 54,000 miles on it. All right, we're gonna go ahead, that's all set to low. Let's go ahead and we'll put that on high. So the temperature is set to low, this is on high now. We're gonna put it on fresh air first. We've done a video of that before. I'm gonna set this thing on fresh air. We're gonna try to get some cool air coming in here. Let's see what it's doing in the heat of the day, because it's, this is the heat of the day.
They said it freezes them out in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning they said it freezes them out. So, I mean, in the morning, like this morning, it was 78 degrees at about 5 o'clock in the morning. So, I don't know, if it's in the 80s, maybe it'll freeze them out. We're definitely in the hot part of the day right now. It's about almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We haven't got our afternoon thunderstorm. We had a little bit of rain earlier.
It's humid out here too.
It's definitely humid. It's always humid. All right.
Tell them where we're at in case they don't know.
For anybody that doesn't know where we are, because I guess we do get a lot of comments on that, we're in southeast Georgia. So you can't go any further south in Georgia without running over into the water, into the river that separates Georgia and Florida, and you can't go any more east because you'll be in the ocean. This is our Kingsland store, so we're actually a little bit inland, but not too bad. All right, so this thing, let's go ahead and switch this over to 2. So if we go over to 2, the top one here is reading at this sensor itself. The bottom one is reading coming out of the vent, and we can see it's 75 degrees. It's dropping. It's it's cooling. It's just not cold.
Say bye to Papa.
You leaving?
Love you.
Love you, buddy. Love me some Micah. Baby girl, I love you. Whoa. Love you. Love you. Love you. Put your nose on my nose. Love you.
When's the next time we're going to go in the pool?
Anytime you guys want to come over, you can come in the pool. I mean, you just got to get over to the house, right? Got a little robot to go in the pool now.
Clean it?
Huh?
Clean it?
Yeah. He just goes in there and does a little cleaning.
I want to swim while he's cleaning.
You got to
You
swim
can.
in our pool too.
Yeah.
Love you, bud. Love you guys.
All right, so sitting here for a minute. It's dropping, but it's not dropping very fast. But now it's hot. I mean, this inside of this car was hot. I mean, it's saying it's still inside the car at 97 degrees. Coming out of the vent, it's dropping. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go for a drive in here. Been driving this thing for a few minutes. We've got it on recirculate now because it's cooled off a little bit in here. And it is still sitting at 62 degrees coming out of the vents. I would think that at this point, I'm not saying we've been driving it a ton of time, but I mean, we've been driving it long enough and we've got it on recirculate where I think that we should easily be down in the low 50s, maybe even in the high 40s. So we're definitely not cooling properly. It's dropping slowly, but it's not dropping how it should. So we've got to get it back to the shop. Here's kind of the process. I know they've already done a bunch of work on it. I know they've charged it up. but we're going to start from scratch. We're going to pull out the refrigerant that's in it. We're going to measure it, see how much comes out, see if any oil comes out, see if an excessive amount of oil comes out. Maybe they've got too much oil in this thing. Maybe that's causing an issue, which is going to be difficult, because the only way you can know exactly how much oil is in a system and how that you got the correct amount in there is to start from scratch. That means pulling the compressor off. That means draining the compressor, flushing through the lines, flushing through the evaporator core, flushing through, which means pulling the expansion valve off, flushing through the condenser, which if the dryer is off the condenser, that's okay. You can flush through it. If it's not, then you got to take the dryer off of it. That's a whole other thing. And then really replace the dryer or the accumulator, whichever one it's got. This one would have a dryer on it. But that's the only way you're going to be able to get to know I've got the right amount of oil in here. There's no way to really check it. I say really check it. There's no way to check it. So we're going to kind of look through, see how much refrigerant's in there, see how much oil comes out. Then we're going to do some measurements across the condenser to see what it's cooling at. I've got to get on the evaporator core side of the expansion valve on both lines so that I can tell the temperature difference going in. Should be less than 5 degree difference. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on this car because it's going to be impossible to get to those lines unless we can do something under the dash. But let's get it back. Let's start from scratch. Let's get it evacuated. Let's see how much is in there, and let's go from there. That's going to be our first step, because we're down to 61. It's popping down to now 60 and a half. Not where it needs to be. Got it in, got it hooked up. They're really fun to get to. This one's okay. That one, when the car is hot, that thing was really fun to get that on. But we did it. So got it evacuated. We've got 0.853 of a pound in there. Now, if we look on the sticker, it holds 0.99 to 1.21. So it's low on refrigerant, which is a perfect scenario for having the symptoms that they've got. If it's low on refrigerant, when it's cooler in the morning, it's going to cool okay. And then when you get in the afternoon, when it's hot, it won't. So we're going to go ahead, pull a vacuum on this thing, let that run for a few minutes. It's not been open, the system definitely wasn't open or anything. They put a new condenser in it. Let's take a look and see. So they got the dryer is built onto the condenser. So that would have been new. Sherwood just made a mention that maybe their machine needs to be calibrated. It's possible that there's something going on with their machine. So I don't know. I know our machine is accurate. It has to be checked regularly. We have to have them come in here and check them regularly. But we're going to get this thing charged up to the correct amount, and then we're going to take it for a drive. This could be just as simple as having the right amount of refrigerant in it, and maybe we just tell them, hey, your machine needs to be. This might be a really short video, but it's still a good video, because if this fixes it, it lets you guys know that sometimes a machine being out of calibration or a machine not putting the right amount in, we have had that in the past where that could be a big issue. We don't know. We could charge this thing up and it still not work right. So let's get it charged up. I'm gonna get a few minutes to vacuum, and then we're gonna get it charged up. We'll drive it down the road and we'll see what it does. Real quick, this thing's vacuuming, but I wanted to go over something that kind of went into my brain here. For those of you that try to do AC yourself, you don't have a machine like this, I will tell you it is virtually impossible. I know I'm gonna get a bunch of comments down there. Oh, I did mine and I got it to work good. Okay, I'm gonna tell you it is virtually impossible for you to get the right amount of refrigerant into the car by going with cans or whatever, unless you've got a scale with a 30-pound cylinder on it that you can weigh the cylinder while you're putting it in, put the correct amount in. That's a way that a lot of people do it. It's a perfectly good way of doing it. But doing the little cans and looking at the little blue, get it in this little gap right here, when that does not work. I've seen too many cars come in with issues, and they say, well, I took it to the parts store, got this little kit, and it charged it up, but it didn't fix it. You've got to get these systems really, really close to being exactly to the right amount. If you're living in an area where maybe it doesn't get quite as hot as it does here, you might get away with it. But if you're living somewhere where it's hot, it needs to be at the right amount. And another thing is, Sherwood just mentioned, I was going to bring it up. A lot of those cans have stop leak in them. You do not want to put stop leak in your car at all. It doesn't work, and it will cause issues with your car, and it will definitely cause issues with the machines that get hooked to it later. So don't put stop leak in them. If you're going to buy the cans without stop leak. It's hard to find. But I will tell you that the best thing to do if you're going to work on your own AC is to, have somebody professionally evacuate it, do whatever you're going to do to repairs, then go back to that shop, have them pull a good vacuum on it. I would recommend a good hour vacuum, depending on where you live. An hour vacuum is just a good kind of baseline, and then have them charge it up with the proper amount. It's going to be way better than you trying to put cans in it. And if you've got the system open and you don't have a way of pulling vacuum on it, you've got to pull a vacuum on it. You can't just shove refrigerant in there. But even if you've got one that's a little low, you think it's a little low, you go to the parts store and you just try to shove some in there. Not good to do that. Have it professionally checked out. It's just going to save you a lot of money in the long run. So while you're here, I was going to do it, Sherry. Sherry's like, subscribe. While you're here, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you know when we drop a video. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments with, I've charged it up, I've done it, it's fixed it, I get it. Leave comments down below. Let me know your experience with it, and hit that like button while you're at it. Appreciate you watching, and we're going to get back to the video. We're back outside. I stuck the probe number 2 outside, and you can see it's dropping really fast now because it's back in the car, but it was at about 96 degrees out there. So it's still hot. We're going to put that in here, and let's drive it down the road. Let's see what it gets down to. One of the reasons why we always check the refrigerant level first, because you could really be chasing your tail if you think it's full. And it's one of the reasons why I tell you, you cannot use those little cans, because the can might say 14 ounces or whatever they say on them nowadays, or even those big tall ones or whatever, but you're not going to get all of that out of there. It's not going to be completely empty. So how much did you actually get in it? And it's very imperative that these things are full to the right amount. So we're going to see what this does here. And then once you've got it full, if this doesn't work, we'll be able to go back and go, okay, well, it's full. Now I can look at pressures. And normally I would have looked at the pressures already. I would have immediately, backed it out, because we're not going to be able to do it inside the studio where it's air conditioned, but backed it out in the heat, looked at the temperatures, looked at the pressures, and made some diagnostic decisions. But on this one, I kind of went a different direction, because they just worked on a bunch of parts replaced. If this was just a case of their machine being a little out of calibration and this fixes it, well, then we don't want to spend a ton of time, going down that road. So we got people pulling out all over the place here. We do have it on recirculate. It's on auto. Got it on low. So it should be trying to get as cold as it possibly can. A little cooler than it was. We're going to give it the same test drive that we did, the same distance. Coldest we got it down to was in the high 55 range, 55 and some change. Now we're kind of easing down here on the back road, so we've slowed down a little bit. It's definitely cooler than it was. I mean, you guys can see it's cooler than it was. I'm not saying it's uncomfortable in here, but I just would think that it'd be a little cooler than this. We don't know the history of this vehicle at all, but it's only got 54,000 miles on it. I know it's the age of it's, a little bit older, but clean car, really clean car. So we're going to go back here. We're going to grab some temperature sensors. We're going to do the condenser first. I'm just going to see what the pressure or the temperature drop across the condensers is.
Yeah, that's fine. Pull behind it longer.
I'm going to pull behind that Audi that, everybody is talking about. All right. So now we're sitting at idle, and it's going to go back up a little bit, which is totally normal on every vehicle, but that's going to go up. We'll leave this in here. We're going to leave it running, and we are going, if we want to do a real load test on this thing, how we would do that is open the doors, have it on fresh air, right? Have it high blower. Now we're loading the system down. We're going to say 95 degrees outside. We would want a 30-degree drop from outside to this vent. Now, right now it's 30 degrees, but it's probably going to, as it sits here and runs, it's probably going to go up and not be 30-degree drop. We will go ahead and leave that right there, leave it running. We'll come back and look at that in a minute. Let's get some temperature readings out here. We've got our temperature sensors connected, so we're on the in and the out of the condenser itself. So you want to find the lines that go into the condenser and come out of the condenser. You want to get on both of those. We want a 20 to 50 degree drop across the condenser. It's going to let us know that the fans are working, that the condenser is doing its job, right? So we've got them hooked up down here. This is you can get these things crazy expensive. You can get these all the way down to this one. This is not real expensive. You can get these things on Amazon, and we'll drop a link down there. We can see that the difference across that is what, 23, 24 degrees, right? I'd like to see a little more than that, I would think, on a day like today. It is hot out here right now. It is definitely bumping up in the mid 90s, mid to high 90s. I also looked because the other reading that I like to get is across the evaporator core. So I want the in and the out of the evaporator core. If you've got an old style system that has a orifice tube, you can get to those lines very easily and you can do this test. With an expansion valve or an expansion block, you can only get to the outline. So that line right there, that big line right there, that's our out of our condenser. It is going to be cold, but I can't get the in. The in right now is the high pressure line going into it, the liquid line going into it. And as it goes through the evaporator or the expansion block, it's going to do just that. It's going to expand, it's going to get cold. That's what makes the AC kind of work on the inside. I need to get to the other side of that block. I've already looked under the dash here. Sometimes we can get on a couple of tubes that go in past the expansion block. Can't get them on this vehicle. So I can't do that test at all. If I could do that test, I want to see less than a 5 degree difference, because that's going to tell me it's full of refrigerant. It's able to do its job. It's not losing. All the heat is not going into the refrigerant basically and making it super hot coming out. But in this case,
The inside temperature.
yeah, let's look at the inside temperature now. We did have the doors open. I don't know if this door got shut. So we're doing basically a load test on this. You want to come over here and I'll get inside the other side. All right. So right now, 68 degrees inside the cab of this car with all the doors open, with it on fresh air, right? And you can see that the temperature this unit is picking up 98 degrees. It's sitting in the car, right? It's sitting in the sun. It is hot outside. Let's see if we can't. This thing is not picking up. Let's see if we can't get this guy to pick up number 2 here. That's not doing it. Let's turn it off.
Where do the pressures on the machine play a role in this at all?
We need to definitely hook the machine back up to it. I want to see what the pressures are out here. We're going to turn it on again. We're going to see if we can't get both readings. All right, now we got both readings. Let's stick number 1 outside. Now it's sitting on the roof, so I mean that's as hot as it's going to get. And let's put this one here. All right, so number 2 sitting in there. It's dropping like a rock. So this reading here again is the unit. There's number 1. It's outside on the roof. It's going to start jumping up. And this is the vent. It's going to go down. Again, a minute ago it was at 68. If we can get that, and we're in the sun. This is a black interior, very dark interior it is hot outside, it's humid outside, but we still got to see that 30 degree drop from outside temperature to inside, to coming out that vent. If we get that, we're going to have to say that's about as good as we're going to be able to get it. I am going to tell you that we're going to walk back out there in a second. There's a couple of air dams that I would like to see on that condenser. That's one of them is there, but not. I don't think it's in place properly, and the other one's not there. I think that's going to get us a little bit better going across that condenser.
The bumper was replaced too.
Yeah, the bumper and all that was done. All that front end work was done. So, yeah, it's probable that this side is completely missing and it's supposed to be there. That side is there, but I don't know that it's in place properly. So now we're. Again, and we want this at idle. We don't want to take this off idle. We don't want to rev it up. We want this thing to be, where it is in this condition to give it the biggest load test. So there's the outside temperature right now. It's only going to go to 99.9. Oh, there goes 100. I didn't know you can go to 100. Nice. Okay, so there we are. I'm holding it right here. See where I'm holding it? Right? I'm holding it out and not touching the metal of the roof anymore. Just holding it out here. It's over 100 degrees and going up.
It's hot outside.
It's hot outside. right, so now let's go to that vent temperature. That vent temperature is sitting at 69 degrees. I mean, I think that we just take this thing on a little longer test drive, and I believe it's going to get down colder. I think we're going to be all right. We need to get that cool air in the car. You know, we got to have a reasonable expectation when it's 100 degrees outside and the humidity is up of how fast is this thing going to cool off.
That's just showing the pressures are good. So
Yeah, let's get the machine on it. Let's show the pressures, and then we'll take it for another test drive. And I want to show you those things on the condenser. Come on. So this piece here, this piece of plastic, and we can see it's just kind of not in place properly, right?
Yeah.
So that's, let me go ahead and put the little laser on it. That piece right there, you can see over here it doesn't have that. It's just wide open over here. So there's no piece on this side. Now, some people say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Listen, it's hot outside. We need this thing to work the best we can possibly get it. We need as much air to go through that condenser to cool off that refrigerant and not go around, not be pulling air in this way in between the condenser and the radiator. So we need to go through. So that's what those things are there for. We need to talk to the body shop and let them know, hey, we need to get a couple of those, or get that one in place and get one for over here. That's going to make a little bit of a difference. Let's get these off. And it was 138 when I pulled it off, 138 and like 160 something. So we were getting the temperature drop across there. Again, if we can get the better we can get that, the better it's going to cool to a point. We don't want it more than 50. All right, let's go ahead and I want to get the machine on. That's right. Do I have a set of gauges here? Do we have a set of AC gauges here? Plain Jane AC gauges. No?
I said I had where the hose were out of one of them. I don't know where it went. I can get you some.
Tori, can you call over to the parts store and see if you can give me a set of AC gauges here? That'd be for 134, not R12. Huh?
What's R12?
That's that Freon that everybody talks about, not refrigerant. Got the gauges for here. I had a set for St. Mary's, but I didn't have a set here. We don't use gauges very much. We have the machines, what we use, but this thing is going to be, this is fun. This is going to be real fun, real fun. If I just touch that, I mean, that fan motor is hot. That fan motor's hot, hot, hot.
You see that hand right there? It says not to put your hand down there when it's hot.
I'll tell you what, I raised a smart one right there. There's not a whole lot you're going to get by this guy, okay?
They don't like you wearing that ring.
They don't like me doing anything. I get it. I understand. I do understand completely.
Take it all off. All of it.
And I understand what happens too.
You just like living on the edge.
I live on the edge. You know, I can't jump out of airplanes anymore, so now I just do this. There we go. All right. Bam. Now I got to get this on. Sure, that's part one. Yeah, thanks, man. Gosh almighty, that dipstick is hot. That's actually the dipstick tube before anybody says anything. Okay. Move that out of the way. Oh, you want me to start it up? Let me get my watch. Somebody said, how many watches do I got? A lot. Love me some watches.
He's not just an Apple Watch. He likes old watches.
I like real watches. I got a lot of real watches. All right, let's go see. Got it on full blown. Everything's good. Probably gonna be somewhere around 250-ish, 225, 250 on the high. A little high on the high. It's gonna equalize down though. I know it's dropping good across there.
What do you want to see?
That's just about good right there. As hot as it is outside right now, that's really good.
This thing's good.
I'm thinking that
Go on refrigerant.
I'm thinking that if we get them to put those air dams in, it's going to get a little bit better. And we're just looking for that little bit better. You know, the thing is that where we live, as hot as it, and as humid as it gets, these things have got to be perfect. To get it cold in there, it's got to be perfect. And you saw the little bit of, you know, that refrigerant was low. It wasn't a little bit low. I mean, if you took the lowest fill point to where it was, what was it, 0.860? It should be 0.99 minimum. We put it at 1.21. I mean, you guys do the percentage in your out there in the world.
25%, give or take.
25% from the 1.21.
Yes, from the 1.21.
Yeah. So if we do 0.86 to 0.99, 10, still about what?
13%.
10, 12, 13%. It's more than 10%. Yeah, 12, 13%. I mean, it doesn't take much. And this, again, I hate to beat that, you know, the dead horse, but
they saw the difference in the
yeah.
drive. So
Yeah. And I think if we take this thing down on a longer drive and let this thing actually cool off and let that interior cool down a little bit, again, a dark interior, you know, you can expect that to take a little bit longer, but you're not going to get much better than that sitting here at idle on a hot day. I mean, that's just about as good as it's going to get. My beautiful wife is going to take this on a long drive and see if we can't get it down, you know, go for like 15, take it for 20 minutes.
Okay.
20 minutes.
Okay.
Just take it up on 17, head
Go
towards
around,
Woodbine.
And then 95 come around?
Yeah, maybe go up to, I mean, it's going to take you 20 minutes we want.
Go all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, go all the way up to like, well,
Yeah.
you don't need to go all the way to Woodbine.
No, do Harris Bluff though.
Yeah,
go
Harris
around.
Bluff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And then just
Watch this.
the bottom one.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to know how cold it gets.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your windows, get all the windows up.
I
Everything's
get
good. I've
it.
got the AC set exactly where it needs to be, okay?
Oh, I'm not touching it.
Elizabeth drove it for about 20 minutes, got it up on the highway, drove it back, and got it down. We just jumped in it. We took it back up the road here real quick just to kind of get a measurement. Here's where we're at. This is the vent temperature. This is inside the car. So inside the car is coming down. Vent temperature is down. It is extremely hot today. I mean, we are, like I say, bumping up there at 100. We are very high humidity. So this I'm comfortable in here. It's blowing on me. I'm actually getting to the point where I want to turn it off of me because it's blowing right on me. It's getting a little bit cool. So
The complaint was it's extremely uncomfortable in the afternoons.
yeah,
We're not uncomfortable right now.
we're not uncomfortable in here. And we've got to have the realism that, like I say, I've said it again, I'll say it again, I mean, I said it before, dark interior, really hot outside. You got to have some realism of how long it's going to take. This thing's perfectly fine. And again, yeah, and Sherwood's, you know, talking about as we're driving, it's like pressures are perfect. The temperatures across the condenser are perfect. I could probably get it a little bit better. We could probably get a couple of degrees out of this thing by putting those dams on the condenser properly by the radiator, maybe 1 or 2 degrees, which could make a bit of a difference. And that's it. I mean, this car, the problem with this car was the refrigerant level. That's it. That just shows you how imperative it is. That little tiny bit off got us from in the low 60s, you know, mid to low 60s, then into the mid 50s. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. And we're going to tell the body shop, you know, how the people come in, check the machine, and we have a really good service. If they've got a Robinair, we've got a really good service provider around here. They'll go in, check the machine, get it all calibrated up. So there we go. That's this one. So appreciate. I can't look at you. So you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. Hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. Appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.